welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a little import, I guess, repot with me and care tips, and we're gonna kind of focus mainly on the Syngoniums, specifically the Syngonium strawberry ice, because KAYLEE Ellen, you were wrong. All right, so got my trusty potting mat here. Did you guys pick one up yet? They just make things a lot easier. It keeps the mess at bay. And you know, they're washable. You could just rinse it underneath the water and roll them up and put them away. So Syngoniums, I think that's been sitting in water for like almost 2 weeks now. I have been changing the water every other day, so there's no rot or anything like that. And in here we have this Syngonium pink splash. Let me pull one out for you. It's not a very cute one, but there you go. Look how pretty that is. I'm not really a fan of pink plants because they don't always look very, they're not like pink enough for me. But the strawberry ice, like, ugh, KAYLEE Ellen, you were wrong. This is like the perfect shade of pink for me, but it's like, I don't know, I can't describe it. It's like a fuchsia, which is a shade of pink, but it's just different. Like, you can see how different it is compared to this. It's like just more brighter and more vibrant. I have noticed that as these get older, like the new leaf is going to be like this beautiful velvety looking pink leaf. I don't know if I have any here. Hold on. Okay, so as I was saying, it's just a different shade of pink for me. Like, the newer leaves is this beautiful, vibrant, almost leather-like pink, and the strawberry ice is like so different. It's like more saturated. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just beautiful specimen. Even though it's been sitting in water, this is starting to unfurl and put off a new leaf. I hope you can see that. And did you know Syngoniums are actually very interesting plants? The juvenile leaves are more arrowhead like this, and the older leaves, the new ones, will just come out looking more bilobed. So I don't know, I thought that was pretty interesting and pretty cool. You can see like how it's changed here. So when I look at these guys, you can see some of them are older and some of them are trying to get more bilobed. So that's interesting. All right, so let's pot these bad boys up. And I guess we can do like a little chit chat on imports. So I have my soil mix here. We're good to go. And some pots. Let's get started. So a while back I had asked a question about imports and what you guys thought about price shaming and if you thought it was appropriate. And obviously I found that it was kind of split, where some people were like, it's not fair that, you know, the average consumer is not able to afford a plant because the market price for these plants are like super expensive and it's just ridiculous. The average consumer is forgetting that these plants are coming in from overseas. I'm gonna spritz this one with some water, with some hydrogen peroxide, just to sterilize it a little bit. So, sorry, I got distracted. The average consumer does not realize the trouble and the headache that goes into importing these plants. And I don't think that people realize that like it's a lot of work and it's a lot of headache and money that we're putting out there. So certain plants are going to be more expensive than others simply because, one, they're super rare and hard to get. And like the term rare is loosely used these days. What is rare, right? Rare to me is scarcity and how difficult it is for some people to even get it. So for example, Syngonium strawberry ice. I think there's only one place that I know of that carries them, and that's Thailand. And they know that. So they will charge you more because they know that, you know, it's highly sought after and you just can't get them. All right, so this is unnecessary. So I'm just gonna cut it off. As I was saying, so for example, the Florida Beauty, I have one. I'm going to be repotting that as well. Very hard to find because people only want very variegated plant. Like, people don't understand that, you know, these variegations are caused by a genetic mutation or by a virus, and if it's not stable, you're not going to get that color that you want, that you think that you want. And you know, to be honest, variegations aren't normal. Especially like the elbows. It's not normal, it's not stable, and it's like it dies because it doesn't have enough chlorophyll to produce energy for the plant. So I don't know, I just feel like price shaming just is not cool. I don't think people realize the headache that goes into importing these plants, and the fact that you know, even when it gets here, most of them, not most, I shouldn't say most because that's not true, some of them are dead on arrival. And do you know how hard it is to bring them back to life? In order for a store to like be able to sell a good plant and to have it on their shelf, they go through the headache of importing. One, you never know if it's going to arrive in good condition. Two, when it does arrive, you're acclimating the plant, and like I said in my previous video on how to acclimate, it takes a while for the plant to get adjusted from its old environment to its new environment. And sometimes even if you give it everything that it needs to survive, it will still throw a fit. I'm going to show you my silver mame that I had received in my last import and show you exactly what I'm talking about, because this was a very well-rooted plant and it decided to just throw a fit and say, not today. So, and I'm pretty sure if you go back to my my import video, you're gonna see like how quickly it declined and how bad it looks. It's pretty depressing actually. But I mean, it is what it is. It's just nature of the game, and people don't understand that. Also, I want to mention, when people charge a certain amount, there's a reason for that. A good seller charges a lot more because it took them a long time to bring the plant back to life and propagate it. So I know that a lot of people buy some plant, like one plant, and they'll propagate it. But do you know how long it takes to propagate a plant? Like, actually, have you guys ever tried to, I guess, chop a plant and wait for it to air layer, or give you water roots and then wait for it to pop off a new leaf, and then you can finally say, oh, it's now officially a plant? Like, a plant to me is something that has sufficient roots, has pushed off a new leaf. That's how I sell plants. I always wait for like the new leaf. If it hasn't given me a new leaf yet, I do like make a disclaimer that, hey, like, it hasn't given me a new leaf yet, so just so you know, it might take a little longer. And to be honest with you, it takes like forever. Like for example, I have a Monstera, a Thai constellation that I've been rooting since, I don't know, November. And that's because it went through phases of throwing a fit and just not being happy with its environment. It would give me new roots and then decide to say, nope, just kidding. I'm not really giving you new roots. And then you have to try different mediums to keep it happy. And then after it's happy, but because of all the stress it went through trying to produce roots, it started to absorb its own leaves. The stem where it's supposed to give off a new leaf, it's absorbed that. So now you're gonna wait another 3 weeks for for a leaf to actually come out, or you're waiting 3 weeks for that one leaf that's in the sheath to completely be absorbed and die off, and then a new leaf will come. Price shaming, just not cool. People charge what they charge because of how much struggle it was to bring in a plant, just overall the health of the plant. I don't think people understand that sometimes plants just want to do what they want to do, and there's really nothing you can do about it aside from do your best and be diligent and hope that, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. So let's change the angle of this camera. All right, so I was talking about the Florida Beauty. This guy, beautiful. Look at him. Just, I can't stand you because it's so pretty. I love this plant, I really do. I love the variegation on it. I love everything about it, but variegated plants are slow growers. It's not normal. Like, it's just, you see it, you love it, you want it, but it's not normal. So a typical Florida ghost will push off a new leaf, for me at least, 1 leaf a month is what I found. But this, I've had it for a little while now, and definitely not the case. So we are gonna repot this guy today. The root, that one beautiful root. So this has been rooting in my Leca and moss contraption, and when I got it in the mail, I had actually removed all the moss and the perlite that was on it because I didn't want it to have root rot, and I wanted to be sure that the new moss that it's in was mine, and you know, I'm doing my diligence by giving it something new. So the reason why I'm repotting this Florida Beauty is because sometimes I feel like some plants just do better in a different medium. I would have put it in ponds, but just too lazy to go make some right now. And Lechuza Pond has been like out of stock for like ever. I don't know if you guys had checked out my earlier videos where I had actually showed you how to make your own pond mix. All right, I'm almost done with this here. I find that Florida Ghost, like the cousin or the brother or the sister of this plant, grows really fast. And I always wondered, like, will the light affect its variegation? Like, I know for the Florida Ghost it definitely does. Like, you get more vibrant white leaves, but I haven't really noticed much of a difference with the Beauty. And I think that's just because of the variegation, like the genetics of the plant or the virus that's causing the variegation. Because I have another one that's back there, and it's a really big Florida Beauty, but the leaves are so different, and I think it's just because it's so much more mature. This is more like juvenile compared to it. Bring it over in a bit when I'm done with this. All right, so let me show you how this other one looks and how they look so different from each other. Whoops. Oh, I totally knocked that over. All right, look at this. Can you see? It's huge. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even know. So this is what I mean by like different variegation. I don't know if you can see me. The leaves are so different. So I think as it gets old, like the older the leaves are, like the more mature the plant is, the shape of it is different. So you get this like really weird bilobe situation, and it's not stable. Like I was really concerned that this wasn't going to be like a stable variegated Florida Beauty, and I was very upset when I got this because obviously I was like, I paid a lot of money for it, and why is it not as variegated as I thought it would be? So that hurt a lot, and I've been acclimating this thing for several months, I think since November as well, and it pushed off a lot of roots. And the thing is that it had this situation, and I was like, oh, it's going to give me a new leaf, it's going to be so pretty and blah blah blah, and it was black, and I was freaking out because why is it black? It's dying, it's dead. And it was because it was using that leaf to absorb the nutrients and the energy to produce more roots, and eventually that black piece fell off, and I got this beautiful variegated leaf. Look at it. And now it's about to give me a new leaf right now. I just noticed it. So this is really big. I'm gonna have to chop it eventually because it's getting out of control. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that little repot with me, and I guess my opinion on price shaming. Oh, this is what I mean by my plants just want to decline. Do you remember this import? Look at how sad this looks. Super sad, super depressing. It was very well rooted, so I was very surprised that it decided to just give up on me. Let's remove this. Like, we're just gonna take that off. That's clearly dead. And what else are we gonna do? Just trim back some of these roots. No, they're just like fried from whatever the reason it is. So I'm just gonna trim these back. It's like it didn't even try. But the roots on this guy was like down to here. I was really like shocked that it decided to give up on life. And you know, I had it in water like all my other ones, and I put it in soil, and it was just not happy with me. So I was like, okay, I must be doing something wrong. So then I put it in leca and moss, and now it's just like doing its thing of whatever this is. So yeah, like I was saying, price shaming, I don't think people understand the struggle, the heartache that people go through with imports, and it's just really sad. I'm actually gonna cut this off too because there's just no reason for it to be here. It's just taking up space. So I'm gonna just repot this in here, and we're done for today. Price shaming, I think people need to do more research as to why things are priced the way that they are. Lately, even if you were to import plants from overseas, the people over there also know that it's highly sought after, so they're going to increase the price. That's one. Two, because it's highly sought after, they can't keep up with the demand. You're going to have to either be on a waiting list, or they're just going to charge you more because they can. So it's not because the sellers here want to, I guess, make a quick buck off you. It's to cover the cost of importing the plants in the first place. And like I said, some plants are just more difficult than others. Like that mame, no idea why it's declining. The other ones are doing just fine, but it's just mad, so it's throwing a tantrum. Whereas some other plants are just snapping back and doing fine. And also, I do believe in rental fee. Like these plants, they are getting the most luxury lifestyle in my cabinet. Like they get food, water, circulated air, everything is controlled to like the perfect temperature and humidity for it. So they need to also pay for rent somehow, and unfortunately it's the buyers who need to pay for that rental fee. But personally for me, I think there are some sellers out there who raise the price because of just simply demand, and there are people who are willing to pay for that. So I think price shaming is just kind of silly. If you can't afford it, just don't buy it. But I don't think it's right that people are, I guess, bashing or complaining about the store as to why their prices are like in 3-4 digits. I mean, it happens. I've seen an elbow, a Monstera elbow, go for like $1,000 some odd dollars, you know. I'm even guilty of it, but it's a huge plant, so I thought it was very well worth it. It was a good investment. But elbows, they're difficult to come by. It's being controlled as to how many is released out there to the public, but there's just so many factors that go into why something is expensive and something is so cheap. But there are just some sellers that just want to make a quick buck. So just do your research. Obviously talk to the seller and ask them if they're willing to negotiate the price, or if they can explain why they price it that way. I find that a lot of sellers are very good in the sense that they are willing to talk about the care that they had to go through with the plant and why they had to sell it for that price. But otherwise, it is what it is. It's just how things are right now. We are in a plant-demic. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you too also are falling in love with these strawberry ice Syngoniums. Like, come on, KAYLEE Ellen, what do you mean it's not cute? What do you mean? I'll see you guys next time. Bye.